the sense of belonging. Some people die before they fulfill their desires. Such a waste of existence.
Check, check.
Some people die before they fulfill their desires. Such a waste of existence.
Anxious earth is rising. Anxious earth is rising. I'm so happy.
We spend our life searching for the sense of belonging. Some people die before they fulfill their desires. Such a waste of existence.
Hey, Double Tribble here. This is the Double Tribble channel. My name is Ron, and I'm in New Hampshire, surrounded by a bunch of mountains and wild animals and stuff. It's pretty cool. In case you're watching on a VOD, this is a live stream, so it's not an edited thing. And today I'm going to do a review and a breakdown of Cloud Atlas, which I will probably edit down into an actual video. So if you're watching on the VOD, you might want to look and see if I've got the video on there somewhere. If I put it up, it'll be on YouTube, on KXQE. So that, or if you want to watch it right now and it's not up there yet, just feel free to fast forward through this, because this is a live stream. So it's not edited down. You can fast forward to the parts that you want. I am going to do this review on Cloud Atlas, which is a two-parter. I decided to make it a two-parter. So today will be the first part, and today's stream will be as close as I can get to no spoilers. Everybody's idea of what a spoiler is different. When I watch a film, I don't like to know anything about it when I watch it. But the stuff I'm going to show today should not have any major spoilers at all. If you've never seen the film, it shouldn't have any spoilers. And then after today, maybe another week or whatever, as soon as I can assemble a bunch of clips for the rest of it, then I'll do another one, and that one I'll have full spoilers on, and I'll be able to do a full, breakdown explanation about the narrative and things like that. So on this one, I'll concentrate on other stuff, the production and cinematography and anything else that I can do without spoiling it. So, but I will show clips. So if you don't want to see clips, you might want to watch the thing first. Before I get started, I just want to do an announcement here. If we're in the middle of a pandemic right now, in case folks don't know, we're in the middle of a pandemic. More than 200 people die every day. Every day, more than 200 people die from COVID and the flu in the United States alone. And it's a simple way to stop it is to wear a N95 mask, a cloth mask or a surgical mask or any of those other things. They don't work as well. You need an N95 mask. It needs to say N95 on it. It needs to say NIOSH, N-I-O-S-H. And the mask needs to have straps that go all the way around the back of your head. The ones with the loops that go around the back of your ear, those are not N95 masks, and those may not work as well. And you need to wear them whenever you're out in public. And if you do that, then chances are you won't get COVID and die. And you won't infect yourself and spread it and kill somebody else. So please wear a mask when you're out in public. Okay, that's my public service announcement. Also, I want to put up my condolences to the folks in Myanmar and Thailand and all over out there, because that awful earthquake. It's pretty rough stuff going on there. So today we're going to talk about Cloud Atlas, and I put together a few clips. Before I get into the clips, I wanted to I'll go through the Wikipedia page, because that's that's a good source for going through this stuff. So let me see if I can bring that up. Look at that. How about that? Okay. So it was produced and directed by the Wachowis rather, and Tom Tykwer. I'm sorry. I have dyslexia, so I have particular difficulty with names. So that's Lana and Lily Wachowski. They did the Matrix. They're pretty famous, pretty famous directors, and they're very good. They're one of the best out there. And the project was actually started by Tykwer. He got the rights to the novel. This was originally a novel, which was written by David Mitchell, and they didn't think they would be able to make it into a movie, because it's like 6 different narratives that are kind of interwoven with each other, and but they did it, and they did a good job. It's very well done. I won't go into the plot. Obviously, I don't want to spoil it, so don't look here. I'm going to scroll through this. Don't look at where it says plot if you don't want to see that. But the way it's broken up, it's got all Tom Hanks, all these huge list of stars here, and the stars each play multiple roles. Some of them play up to 6 different roles. So it's really complicated, and there are 6 different narratives, 6 different stories in the thing. So it's a pretty complicated thing. It was difficult to get the thing produced, as happens a lot. It gets into production hell or whatever, and as I said, Tykwer got the rights to the novel, and he was going to do it, and then he brought the Wachowis in. And the funding was the hard part. This is an independent film. It wasn't done by a studio. It's an independent, and they had the money. They had the money from Warner Brothers, I guess it was, and and you know they kept having trouble getting it, but apparently the stars were in. Tom Hanks was totally behind it apparently, and according to Wikipedia here anyway. And you know, at one point they thought they were going to lose, not going to be able to do it at all. They lost their funding. You know, Warner Brothers was going to pull out, and then they ended up going to Germany and getting financing from them. They have a whole bunch of different, you know, Wikipedia lists all these different sources. It was just a whole bunch of different sources of funding that they had to get this thing going. And finally, the Wachowskis put their own money into it. So, you know. Oh, we got chat. Shane, hi Shane, how are you? Am I saying Wachowski? Thank you, Shane. Shane McGinnis. Shane McGinnis is another Twitch streamer here on Twitch, and let me give him a shout out because he is a really cool. He does history stuff. He does all kinds of streams about history, mostly world civilizations, if I understand it correctly. Oops, my shout out didn't work. Excuse me just a second here. Mostly world civilizations and, you know, ancient civilizations all the way up to the present, you know, anything that has to do with history. It's very informative. I learned a lot from watching his streams and his VODs and stuff. So you want to make sure you give him a follow. So they got money from the Germans, and the Wachowskis put some of their own money behind it, and they got the thing going amazingly. And it was filmed all over the place, you know. But one of the things when they produced it was trying to get, you know, the book was written as. Well, here, let me just get into the. I'll show you a little clip here so we can get. All right, there we go. Let's see here. All right, we got it. The oh man, there we go. So the thing is, there's 6 different narratives, and actually 7 or 8, depending upon how you count them. There could be an extra couple ones in there, and as I said, I can't get into the narrative too much without spoiling it. But I'll just show you the 6 narratives. If you've never seen the film before, and you want to watch the film, it's a challenging film to watch. It's not easy to understand. It takes a lot of work to watch the film. You probably have to watch it multiple times to get it. If you're someone who doesn't like to do that, you could watch this review here that I'm doing today, and I'll give you a little bit of a head start. I'll tell you a little bit about it that will help you understand it a little bit easier than just going into it cold. When I saw it, I didn't know anything about it. I hadn't heard of it. I was just on cable, I think it was, and saw this thing that said, "Oh, it's a sci-fi cloud atlas." Okay, that sounds like fun. I'll watch it. It's got, you know, some stars in it. I'll watch it. And I was totally confused. I didn't know what was going on when I watched it. And it took me a couple times watching it to get it figured out. So let me. So the first thing is that there are 6 stories in this thing, right? 6 stories. And what I'll do is I'll play 6 clips here, end to end, 6 clips over through the thing. Let's see here. Okay, good. We don't have an echo. All right, I'll play these 6 clips that kind of show the intro to each of the stories. This is kind of front loaded. This is the beginning of the movie, and I'll just play these one right after the other, and you can see them. Let me adjust this a little bit here. Is that a little bit better? No. I want to get this nice and even so we can get the whole thing. And I think that's a little bit better. That'll work, I guess. All right, so I'll play these 6 clips end to end. And each of these clips is the beginning scene for each of these 6 stories. So I'll just play them and then I'll comment on them. All right. So those are the 6 stories. We've got something interesting that I just noticed right before I came on today was that at the beginning of each of them, the sound is almost the same. It's like a tone or a sound, almost like a. Oh, you heard it. It was very similar to each one of them. This is the Pacific Islands. This is the Chatham Islands. This is where this takes place. The first one, which is near New Zealand or southwest or southeast of New Zealand, I think. Then they have one in Cambridge. In the book, this was originally Berlin, I think, or something like that. And he changed it to Cambridge, England. And in San Francisco, in London, which is 2012 is when this film was made, so this is contemporary. This was, this particular story, it takes place at the time that the film was made. And then they go into the future, and they have one Neo Seoul, which is supposed to be Korea in 2144. And then this one, Big Isle, which is apparently Hawaii, the island of Hawaii. And they didn't specify the exact time. They just said 106 winters, but if you do the math, it comes out to, 2344 or something like that. So it's 6 different stories. And they don't tell them, one right after the other. They mix them all up, and go back and forth and stuff like that. So it's, you need to know that going into it. Plus, they have same characters playing in the different stories. So it makes it a little bit kind of complicated to follow, but it's worth it. It's worth it doing it that way because of the way that they tie them in. Let's see here. All right, so I showed you that little chart there with all the different actors playing all different roles. So I'll play about 2 or 3 clips here of those actors in those different stories playing different roles, so you can kind of get a feel for what it looks like and what's going on. So let me play that for you. All right, so I did 3 different stories there. This story here is actually the last story, the one on the Big Island. And this woman, this is Donna Bay, and she's playing one of the people on that island, and that's Tom Hanks, of course, there. Is my hello? Okay, I had an echo before. I wasn't sure if it was there or not. So that's Duna Bay, and Tom Hanks. and that's Halle Berry. That's Jim Broadbent. And guess who that is? That's Halle Berry. Made up as a German Jew in this particular one. This is 1935, I guess. That's when that one was taking place. Okay, and that's Jim Sturgis. So this is the one in Neo Soul, and they have the actors playing different races and everything. They just made, it's there were some people who objected to it, but if you understand the movie, if you understand the film, you understand the context and the whole thing, it makes sense. They could have had more Asian actors, I think, in this one, but I'll get into the representation next week, or whenever I do my next part 2 of this review, because it requires spoilers in order to get into it for completely. But the whole point of the film has to do with progress, making progress on race and other issues. So. There's Duna Bay again. Remember, that's the same woman as that woman right there. Her. That's Duna Bay. So there she is in that story, and then there she is in that story. So the makeup is just incredible on this. It's not, some of them they do really fantastic jobs, and other ones it wasn't as good. But it's still amazing that they were able to make people up to do all these, to be these different characters. All right, so music is a big part of it. Cloud Atlas is the name of a song. Oh, let me go to chat here before I go on. It's a very beautiful film. Yeah, Shane says it's a very beautiful film. I think I need to watch it a couple more times. Oh yeah, you can't get it just one time. Yeah, I mean, it's great to watch if you're, if you often watch films, and if you're the type of person who doesn't understand films very easily, it's still fun to watch because it's got, just all kinds of visuals and spectacle and, just very beautiful cinematography and scenery and a production design and everything is just wonderful. So even if you want to watch it and just go into it knowing that you're not going to understand it totally, it's still fun to watch. Shane says, I like what they did with the language in the distant future part. Yeah, that was kind of difficult for me. I have dyslexia, of course, so my brain processes language differently. Language and social cues and everything, it is processed differently by my brain. So it takes a lot more horsepower for me to exert in order to understand that stuff. So that was kind of difficult for me. But yeah, if you understand the evolution of language, they did a great job on that. You can just imagine that's how an isolated group of people on an island, 100 years or more gone by, how the language would evolve like that. You're there, okay? I don't hear an echo. Great, okay, thank you. All right, so the name of the film, Cloud Atlas, is the name of the piece of music that was written by one of the people in the film, one of the characters in the film. And there was a guy who actually, the name of I just want to mention this really quick here. This guy here, Toshi Ichiyanagi, I don't know. He wrote a piano piece called Cloud Atlas. They didn't use it in the film, but this was the inspiration for the title of the book. So this guy here wrote a piano piece or a series of piano pieces called Cloud Atlas back in the 80s and 90s. And the author of the Cloud Atlas novel thought that name was really cool, so he picked it up for the name of his book, and in the movie, of course, used the same title. And the name of the piece in the music is called the name of the piece of the music in the film is called Cloud Atlas. So what I'm going to do here is I'm going to play a couple of clips that have examples of music from the film. The first clip is the music actually being played by the character who writes the music in the film. But this film, the whole ton of this film is meta. It's very much talking, aware of itself. And so the first clip is the character writing the music. The second clip is just another storyline where they're using the music as the score for the film. So you get it? I'll play it and I'll explain it again if you didn't get it. I'll play these two clips. So listen to the music. The first one, they're both the same piece, but they're used differently. Whoops, I got to change something here. All right, here we go. So here's the music. And hopefully my audio is still there. All right, so that was the music being played. Much different interpretation of the music, but it was the same piece of. You could tell it was the same piece of music, and it was played. In this part, it was part of the storyline. It was the character playing the music. This is the music that the character wrote in the movie. And then in this clip, it's a totally different another different story, completely. Different time, different everything, but they were using the music as the score played, behind. And this music is played throughout the film, and it's played in all different places, and it's like Easter eggs that you can find when you're watching the film. It's sometimes it's played as the score. Sometimes there's a character in the film that's playing it. Sometimes it's, I think there was a point where it was elevator music, and just all over. So it's kind of fun to try to listen to that and see if you can find that. And it's a major part of the storyline again, as I said. Okay, this is let's see here. I mentioned the production design on this thing. It's just incredible. Every single shot, everything is just, they put so much work into every single little, there are little shots that take only a second or two that you can tell they put, probably weeks and weeks and weeks of work into doing just a little shot. So I'll play, I think I've got 2 or 3 of them here, and I'll let them play through, and then I'll discuss each of them. I'm not getting audio here for some reason. Okay, I'm going to go back. Sorry for the technical issue here. All right. Sorry for this technical issue here. Okay, I think I know what I need to do.
This is from my dream. That night I came to your room. This is the music I heard in my head. Somehow I gave it to you.
I've been working on this piece for weeks now, and I suspect you heard it and incorporated it into your dream. I call it the Cloud Atlas Sextet.
I had been here before. Another lifetime ago. Ursula. The love of my life. I could think of no other serious applicants. What had happened to her? And more importantly, what had happened to the young man who had ridden this same train composing sonnets?
All right, so that was the music, and I think I got it right that time. So you could hear it. And let me see if we got a mic here. Yeah, okay. So those were two different things, right? It was this guy was playing the music in the movie itself. He was a character playing the music, and then in this scene here, it was a completely unrelated thing, different storyline, but the music was being played as the score behind the film. So it's anyway. I think you heard me explain about how the music was. You just didn't hear the music on the first try on that thing. We got Ivan Neo in chat. Hi, Ivan. How are you? I'm doing a review of Cloud Atlas. This is the light, or the version that has almost no spoilers. It's, if you've seen the film before, then you're set. If you haven't seen it before and you want to see it, this shouldn't spoil it too bad, and it should actually give you a little head start on no spoilers. I don't know. Yeah, no. But everybody just defines spoiler differently, right? So there shouldn't be any major spoilers in this. I'm showing clips, so you'll be able to see that. Also, a content warning. This one of the themes in the film has to do with cannibalism, so I'm going to talk about that a little bit. So that's a warning if you're into it. I'm not going to show any real gory stuff. There's something that's kind of disgusting, but not gory. So we should be all right there. And spoilers shouldn't be there. Most of these clips that I'm showing are either front loaded, or they're just, you won't understand what they're about out of context. So we should be okay. All right, so that was the music. Okay, now production design. I'll just play some of these. I think I've got 3 clips here that just highlight the entire film. Every single inch of this film is just so highly produced and just perfectly done and perfectly photographed. It's just a beautiful film. So I'll show these 3, and then we'll talk about them real quick.
was ordinary. At Tower 5, we man our stations to greet the new day's consumers.
Why words slink and slide off a tongue when we need 'em most? If my tongue been more bold, could I stop all that diresome's about to happen?
Uncle Zach!
This my big bro yarning about.
What's?
I am so sorry to keep you waiting. I know it's a Ms.
Ray. Louisa Ray, Spyglass Magazine.
Right. Louisa, this is Joe Napier. He's our security chief. I was surprised to get your query. I mean, don't get me wrong, it's a feisty magazine, but...
Anything you need, sir, just let me know.
Will do.
Cross your fingers and toes.
All right. I'm in chat here. Ivan says, I did not see that coming. Does that mean I spoiled something for you? I hope not. What were you referring to, Ivan? I did not see that coming. I did 3 clips here, right? 3 different clips. And just to show you the range of different things, or 4 different clips, I guess. So here's a clip here, and it's just, this is a restaurant, I guess. And I guess I should have done a content warning here too. There's some objectification going on here that I could warn folks about. But just look at the design here. The whole thing. It's just incredible. And this is a future thing, obviously. This is, I don't think we're able to do this kind of stuff yet. Pretty close, but not quite. And this one here is just set in Hawaii, right? That's beautiful to begin with. Oh, cannibalism, yeah. Yeah, there's a scene here that I'm going to play. It talks about that a little bit, and shouldn't be too gross. And in this scene here, Tom Hanks playing another role in on an island in Hawaii, and totally different, right? This is just a completely different setting, and they just got this completely. This is looking like a primitive culture. Indoors, every single little detail in here, is just they just really look at this. Look at all this stuff, Every single little thing, the glass bottles that they're using for something over here that are probably 100-year-old bottles, right? And it's just. And in this one here, this is obviously a nuclear power plant. It looks like San Onofre right there. But it's a nuclear power plant, and the inside, right? And they've got the little Bohr model of the atom up here, just everything. Now, and the film makes mistakes. All films make mistakes, and tomorrow when I do, or not tomorrow, but my next part 2 of this thing, when I get into the narrative more with a whole bunch of spoilers, then I'll be able to get into some of the problems with it. There are a couple problems, but it's really well done. But look at the design here. They picked a nice location here and did it, and it's just really well done. That's Keith David and Holly Berry again playing another role. What's his name? Hugh Grant You know, he had several roles in here, just really diverse roles. These actors just performed incredibly throughout this whole thing. And this is Neo Soul. You know, just look at this. What's going on here? They've got, let me back up here. Look at, they've got a whole city there, you know, and then they've got this, you know, some sort of market going on here. You know, it just, look at all the detail on this thing. Ah, okay, here's another. I did more than I thought. I did 4 different ones, I guess, here. I can't say what this is without spoiling it. This is obviously another scene in the future sometime, and you know, working some machinery or something. So it's really well done. So another thing is all the symbols and metaphors and stuff. They just went crazy with that too. You know, there was some of I had written down here some of the different things, just some that I could think of as I was going through it. They had some of the symbols they have in here. You know, as far as specific symbols, they've got they have a teeth is a symbol, buttons, plates or china, a comet, birthmark or tattoo or something that recurs throughout the thing. Soap, rope, there are just a whole bunch of little symbols that show up, not in just in one thing, but actually the same exact symbol in other storylines. And so the whole thing is kind of tied together that way, or in a lot of different ways. That's one of the ways that it gets tied together. The narrative itself ties it together. You know, there are lots of different ways that it ties the different stories together. In chat, we got Ivan saying that's NYC 2027. Yeah. You're looking at that Neo Soul, yeah. And the themes, you know, there are a lot of different themes and metaphors and stuff like that in this thing. One of the main ones is recurrence or reincarnation or whatever. It's kind of ambiguous whether characters are reincarnating or not. I don't know, because it's, as I said, you know, it's the same actor playing different characters. And progression and oppression is another thing. You know, it's an epic that covers a huge swath of history, hundreds of years of history. You know, imprisonment, power, and one of the things is consumptions. And as I said, cannibalism is one of the things. So I'll just play these clips. I don't know how many I have here, but I'll play these few clips. And then we'll talk about them again.
This beach was once a cannibal's banqueting hall, where the strong gorged on the weak, but the teeth, sir, they spat out like you or I would expel a cherry stone. Do you know the price a quarter pound of these will earn?
Whole valley whispering about the blood of Adam and his son on my hands.
I do hope you will be able to find it in your heart to forgive me.
All right. So that was. I don't know why that keeps popping up. I'm getting something popping up on my machine here that's confusing me. Sorry about that. That's Tom Hanks again, playing another role, different role. But just look at, again, the cinematography. Look at this scene here. Look at this. Look at this scene. They've got it completely, you know, a frame within a frame, you know, which is really cool. They've got the waves crashing up, you know, just perfectly, you know, done cinematography here. And the acting, I don't know, you've noticed the acting is just, you know, Tom Hanks, of course. He did that little waver in his voice and all that. And he said here, here, I'll play this part again here.
Like you or I would expel a cherry stone. Do you know the price a quarter pound of these will earn?
Did you hear that little waver in his voice when he was doing that? That was you know, Tom Hanks. And another thing I noticed there is he said, it was very, very subtle, but they were talking about eating, you know, cannibalism and eating and stuff like that. They used quarter pound. He used a quarter pound of that. So what is a quarter pounder, right? Heading out to, oh yeah, you got to set up your stream, Ivan. Yeah, I'll be joining you too. I'd time this so I could wrap it up so I could watch at least most of your stream. So we'll be there for sure. All right, take care, Ivan. Then this shot here is just, you know, look at that shot there. Look at that, you know, communicating, you know, precarious situation or whatever. And this button that he has there, that's kind of a recurring thing. Buttons. I don't know what that means. I don't understand, you know, what that actually means as a symbol, but it recurs, and maybe if I studied it more and more, I would understand. But look at that makeup too. Look at his thumbnail there. That makeup job they did on his thumbnail, just incredible. This little detail, and this little thing here, I thought it was a shooting star, and I wasn't sure what this shows up multiple times in the thing, so that's kind of important too. So that's something to look for. So great that Hanks was wearing false teeth in that scene. Oh yeah, he was really made up on that to be that particular character. So, all right. And the editing, right? Here's some clips. Now these clips are showing transitions between the stories. As I said, in the book, in the novel, the 6 stories it's a little bit more structured. It starts with it tells the first half in the novel. Okay, it tells I didn't read the novel because I have dyslexia. I can't read it, but just, you know, cliff notes of it. They give the first half of each of the stories first to introduce it. Then the 6th story, the last story in this one, they give the whole story. And then they give the second half of the other 5 stories. So they give 5 stories, they do the first half, then they do the 6th story completely, and then the second half of the 5 stories. So that's in the novel. To do that in film would be difficult. So they did it. They introduce all the stories, but they bounce back and forth between them. And they do it in such a way so that they can tie them in to each other. And by doing that, they make it more. They communicate more information, more story, more whatever, you know, metaphors and symbols and everything. There's more to it. And I'll play these clips and it'll make a little bit more sense here. So let me do that. Let me shut off my mic and I'll play these clips.
Right! Let go of me, you ruddy motherfucker!
You can maintain power over people as long as you give them something. Rob a man of everything, and that man will no longer be in your power.
All right, so those were what was it? It was two different scenes from the film, but the film was cutting between. Each of those were cutting between one story and the other. What I'm trying to show you here is how they cut between the stories. You know how when they cut from one story to the other, they tie it in really cleverly. So like here's a story here, obviously in the future, right? They got ray guns or something, or you know, and this guy's walking on a thing, right? And they show him walking on a thing. Then they cut to this scene, which is obviously in the past, but it's a very similar thing, same, you know, similar angle and similar situation, right? So it's the whole film is like that. They when they make these cuts between the different movies, they tie them in that way, one way or another. They figure out how to tie it in. And then this one here, they're showing the guy, you know, this guy is overpowering him, right? He's being overpowered. He's, you know, he has control over the guy, right? It's a power thing. And he grabs the guy, and then they cut. And I got to cut my mic out here for a second, and I'll play this again.
You can maintain power over people as long as you give them something. Rob a man of everything, and that man will no longer.
So did you see that? You see what's going on there? They play this guy giving overpowered, having control. This one guy having control over him. Then they cut and they cut the audio first so that this woman that Duna Bay is playing here is talking about being overpowered and having control. And when you get into the narrative, there's even another level to this, believe it or not. So it's the whole film is like that. It's just incredible the way they put this whole thing together. And as I said, I'll go into more and more detail on my next. Might not be my next stream, but it'll be the second half of this review of this film. It's a 3-hour film, so it's a big long film. But it's really quite a film. And as I said, it's got a few mistakes in it, but it's not that, you know, they're minor. They really are minor. And I'll explain the ones that I caught. But it just goes on, you know, let me see if there's anything else that I can. Consumption, yeah. the reason why they did it that way is so they could communicate more. There's always the novel itself is over 500 pages long, so it's a huge. There's a lot of stuff in it, right? And everybody always if they read the book first and then they watch the movie, it's always, oh, they cut this out, they cut that out. Well, you have to, you can't, you can't put every single detail from a novel into a film, but they do pack a ton into this movie. And the way they do it is they not only have the narratives themselves that they tell, but again, they have these symbols that and these links between them that make the stories more than if you just, if you took this film and re-edited it so that each of the stories were told serially, just you told let me see here. If you had it so that it would tell this Pacific Island story and told the entire thing end to end first, and then you told this story in Cambridge, England, and in San Francisco and London, and if you told them, edited them so they were all together like that, you wouldn't have half of the information, really. I mean, you wouldn't. There's so much information that's conveyed just in the juxtaposition of what they do when they put this stuff together. So it's just an incredible. It's highly recommended. Obviously, I like it. It's let's see. We've got a movie editing in general does not get enough appreciation. Yeah, it is. It's an art form, and there's so much to editing. Yeah, a lot of stuff in editing. It's one of those things that you don't notice it, and it's there's a technical aspect of the editing, making sure that you have continuity and things like that. Making sure that the characters are in the right position at the right time when you cut the edit. But there's also this part, this higher level editing where you're trying to get the narrative right, and add to the narrative and stuff. So it's pretty cool. Movie making in general is really hard. It looks a lot easier than what it is. And the three directors here, some of the best in the business, and they just did a really good job. It's the film itself didn't get. It got mixed reviews, which is kind of tip par for this type of film. A film that requires a lot of effort from the viewer often gets split reviews. A lot of people like it, and a lot of people hate it just because they just don't like that kind of film or whatever. And a lot of that depends on how it's marketed too. I don't know how they marketed this film. But if they didn't market it right, they could pull the wrong audience to come and see the film, and then get bad reviews that way. Get people not liking it. But also, the funding. Originally, Warner Brothers was going to pull out, and in development, and they ended up getting funding from Germany, and it's an independent film. So a lot of people with a lot of power in Hollywood don't like independent films, coming in and competing with them. So they end up, creating a lot of negative buzz on a film if they don't like it. And the funding came from Germany, which is different. They're not used to that. So a lot of things contribute to how views, the reception of a movie other than the quality of the movie, So that's why I usually don't listen to reviews that much. I'll watch the film myself, and it's I make up my own decision, and so many times I will watch a film and it'll just be a fantastic film, but it will get, for one reason or another, some powerful people in Hollywood didn't like it for some reason, and it will get bad reviews just for that reason only. Even though it's a high quality film. So I really don't go by the reviews that much. All right, so that's, I really can't get any more into it without spoiling stuff. And I did, you know, it's a great movie. So I highly recommend it. So if you watch this, I gave you a head start on how to do it, but just keep in mind it's going to take a couple of viewings for you to understand it completely. Or you could just watch it and then come back and watch my second review where I'll explain a lot more stuff. I'll explain a whole bunch of things on my next one. My next one will probably be a 3-hour stream. I don't know. But I'll edit. This one, I like this movie so much that I'm sure I will edit this review down into an actual video. And again, I'll put it up on KXQE on YouTube. I think if you just go to YouTube at well, here I'll put it in chat here. I think I have links here I can put in chat. Yeah, there it is. You go to youtube.com/@KXQE. That's where my edited videos are at. And in these streams here, these unedited live streams from Twitch are at doubletribble-yt on YouTube. And if you don't know, if you just go to Twitch TV/doubletribble, you can find my channel there on Twitch, and all my links are there. So that's another way you can do it. So, all right, let's see. Do I have enough? I don't think I have. Do I have enough to? No, I don't think I have enough to rate anybody. I have 3 people. We can hang out until Ivan starts and raid him, but I don't think. Yeah, we've got a couple people here. Oh no, now we got 4 viewers. Now I got even more viewers. Uh-oh. Let's see if Ivan has started yet. He normally starts at 7 o'clock. You guys want to hang? You guys hang in there for a raid? Let's see if he's on yet. Oh, my computer's messing up here. All right, let me try it here. Let's see if he started yet. Yeah, there he is. He's out there. Okay, let's raid Ivan then. Of course, you don't have to stick around for the raid if you don't want to, but it'd be cool. And right, Ivan's a real cool guy. He's into a lot of the same stuff that I'm into. Science. He's a physicist and a philosopher and a lot of things. So let's see here. I think I just do it this way. I think that will do it. I don't think I have to do the @ sign. Okay, everybody, we're gonna raid Ivan Neo, and we'll see you on the other side. Then I don't have any raid calls. You can just spam the generic raids icon or whatever emote. All right, let's see if this goes here. No, that didn't work. Damn. I think I need to. Sorry guys, this is, thank you for sticking through with this. There we go. I think that'll do it. Huh. Oh, it's with the slash. Oh, okay. Thank you, Shane. I was trying to figure that out. All right. Now, I don't know if I need the @ sign or not. Let's try and see if it works with the @ sign. Invalid username. No, okay, so it's got to be @raid Ivan. You know, his stream will be done by the time we get over there, huh? Let's see here. You do need the @ sign. Okay. Well, how come it didn't work that other time then? Oh, there it goes. Okay, I think I got it. Okay. 1 viewer, 2 viewer, 3 viewer. Okay, so we got 3 of us that are going to go over there. All right. All right, everybody. Thank you for putting up with my technical issues here today. We'll join you on the other side there over at Ivan's stream. Thank you. Good night. All right, here we go.
Double-tribble. This is great.